This meeting is being recorded.
God.
Okay, welcome into the Degress Podcast, Peyton Manning edition, episode 18. Got a lot to talk about, a lot going on in the sports world. Scotty Scheffler is your Masters champion. Tiger
Jesus
returned. Was able to hold off a strong Rory comeback on Sunday. NBA playoff playing games are going on as we record this. This is going to be released on Thursday, the 14th of April. In a little bit of a snowmageddon here in Dickinson. Got about, I don't know, I have a snowdrift outside my house about 7 feet tall. It's still coming. It's blowing. It's North Dakota weather at its finest. Monday, I was outside going for a walk. Sun was out. It was gorgeous. Wake up Tuesday, absolute shit show. That's the only way I can describe it. But luckily, I have Grant and Ethan. They're out in the cities enjoying some not snowmageddon. So, you guys, welcome into the show. What were you guys able to watch the Masters? What was your guys' biggest takeaway?
I did not watch on Sunday, unfortunately, but you brought up Scheffler, and my goodness, he is. I didn't know who he was 6 months ago, but wow, he's unbelievable. Even his bad shots, you think he's just screwed, and he comes out with some miraculous chip and putt. Like when he went in the tree, puts it 10 yards over the green somehow when he dropped. It's stupid. Like he's unbelievable.
Yeah, and in his last 59 days, he's won 4 tournaments.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable.
The guy is just on fire right now. And, like Ethan said, he came out of left field. Nobody knew who the hell this guy was. And now he's, looking like he's the best player in the world. And he's going to be around for a long time. So that, that's kind of, I guess, nice for golf. But, also in a way, I felt like this Masters was a little boring. Sunday there wasn't that much excitement because Scotty had such that big lead. Tiger kind of fell apart on Saturday. And, we didn't have that memorable stretch on Sunday, afternoon where we're like, hey, do you remember how this happened? It was kind of smooth sailing. So, maybe a little boring and something the golf world didn't need. But, who knows? Maybe Scotty can be a superstar in the making.
Yeah, well.
Can we all agree, though, he doesn't look like he's 25?
No, he looks like a 45-year-old accountant
who,
when he goes out,
old.
his average, I mean, he's a great golfer. If he's for a 45-year-old accountant, he usually shoots about 3 over, 4 over, occasionally can get under par. But yeah, he looks like he's 45. He acts like a 45-year-old too. Just listening to the interviews talking about how he was like crying, waking up because he wasn't sure if he was ready for the moment. And his wife kind of just talked to him. He's like, it doesn't change who you are to me. You're still my husband. I'm still going to love you regardless of it. And that's not going to change if you win it or not. You still have those same strong views and perspective in life. It's not going to change. I think that eventually is what propelled him because there is so much pressure going on. And it got to him a little bit at the end on hole 18 where he 4-putted, but 4-putting to win the Masters, he still had 2 putts to spare. And it was awesome to see. And he just played and Tiger was back. I was nervous. I didn't think he was even going to make the cut, and he found a way. He made it. But I think in the end, his body was just worn down. I think that cold weather on Saturday really ate at him, and just it's not good, especially when 14 months ago, you were in a life-threatening accident, almost losing your leg. And I can't imagine. I'm not an expert with leg injuries or anything, but I can't imagine. You're still regenerating some of those nerves to keep your body warm and things like that. But it's incredible to see. He's only going to get better. I think just got to get his body back to play competitive golf at that level and find yourself floating around on moving day Saturday. It's incredible. And it just proves to the work ethic and the attitude he has.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, this dude is 14 months removed from looking at prosthetic legs, and he still beats 75% of the best golfers in the world. Like it's absolutely mind-boggling when you think about it. I mean, obviously, Tiger's probably the best we've ever seen, maybe the best ever. I don't know. I didn't watch Nicklaus or any of them, but it just shows how great this guy truly is. Like he can basically play one tournament the last year and a half, and he still kicks these guys' butts.
And then just look at the draw he brings in. You know, golf needs him. He had everyone talking about this tournament from Sunday to Sunday.
He had people tracking a freaking plane.
A private jet from northern Florida to Georgia. That's incredible. It's incredible. Tiger Tracker, he's on his way. And to come out and say he's a game time decision for the biggest tournament in golf, that's the world's biggest flex, where you just kind of walk in and you're just
no one ever says that.
Hey guys, you know, I'm here at Augusta National. I might play, I might not play. Just stay tuned and find out. We'll see you on Thursday.
Literally. Even at his press conference, he didn't say he was going to play. It's just unbelievable.
And he already said he's playing in the Open. It's going to be at St. Andrews. He said it's his favorite course.
Win.
So I hope that'd be sweet. It's closing in on that record, and I think he needs 3 more to tie, 4 to beat him. He's getting up there in age, but I'm not ruling Tiger out of anything.
No, he's one of the few athletes you don't doubt.
Wait, no, because he's only 46 years old?
46,
right?
Yeah.
45, I think.
Still got
46, one of the two.
I get it. These, you know, it's kind of a younger generation now where they're taking, you know, the tour over by storm. But with the technology in these clubs and just the love he has for the game and how much passion he has for it, yeah, like you said, we're not going to doubt this guy out. He easily might win another 2 or so, or maybe 3. I hope he can get to that magic number of 20.
Well, and Ethan said, you know, he might be the best. There's a strong argument because the way golf is today, the way guys take care of their bodies, the way they they really take care of themselves more than what it used to be, where, you know, there's a lot more emphasis on weight training and things like that, and nutrition, eating properly. If Tiger doesn't start doing that, there's other guys aren't doing that either. So, I mean, he changed the game. It's like, and Grant said it in the previous podcast, you know, that's why you're fist pumping and you're showing those antics on the course because of Tiger. Or you wear red on the golf course, or when you have a big meeting or big day, you know, you wear red because it's Tiger red.
Can we also talk about the greens at Augusta? Like, I don't remember ever seeing greens like that at the Masters. Like, you literally land that thing 10 feet from the hole. If you're on the wrong layer, it's going backwards 30 feet into the fairway. It's like, I've never seen that before. I felt like these greens were just ridiculous.
They must have just, you know, really amped it up, and they said, hey, we almost need to challenge these golfers more because they are getting so much better. They're able to put the ball within 10 feet from every shot that they have, you know, with the technology of these irons and just how smart they are. They know exactly where to put the ball, what club speed to have on their follow through. So these grounds crews, to your point, Ethan, they almost need to amp their game up a little more, because if not, it's almost going to look too easy for these guys.
Which goes back to another Tiger thing, because they had to change it after he won by 12 strokes. They had to like Tiger proof it because he was out driving the course.
Mm-hmm. Everything. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And one thing before we to wrap up Masters, North Dakota native Tom Hoagie finished +7. It was his first Masters. It was cool to see. I don't think What's that?
That was his first ever?
Yep. Yeah, because
did he make the cut or no?
Yeah, he made the cut. He was finished +7 for the day. So you know, and Augusta is not a course where you can just walk in and play and expect to win right away. That course, you need that experience. So next year, use this as a learning experience, improve. He's going to be playing in other majors, and he's been playing really good golf this year. He got his first win. He's been in a lot of other tournaments. So excited to see his improvement, and we'll keep moving. And there was crazy to think here, but there was a big basketball game in Minnesota last night. Wolves came away with a win. Celebrate Patrick Beverley, celebrating like they won it. And there's people talking, but you know what? From where this Wolves team was, they weren't the last time they were in the playoffs was in 2018. They lost to the Rockets. And then before that, it was the 2004, they lost to the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. And people are getting on them for celebrating. But you know what? This is a young team. the excitement within the fan base is through the roof. They've improved, and there's so much. It's a win now. It's a win now. It's nothing about the process. This team has gone through so much, and seeing them improve, and they're taking the right steps. Walk before you run. It's not just going to happen instantly. You need to develop those guys. Anthony Edwards is a stud. Cat did not play a great game by any means, but D'Angelo Russell played great. And they have easily hit some big threes. And they have a true leader on this team in Patrick Beverley. Just watching him, the way he was excited, celebrating. He wasn't excited because he beat his old team. He was excited for the fans and for the city and the young guys on that team. And I hope he stays around because you need that leadership. And I think the Wolves, they're in the right step. It's going to be interesting to see how they fare against Memphis, but I like the direction this team is going. And you guys are there, so I'll let you guys talk about it.
Grant,
I just want to say this, put in perspective for how putrid the Wolves have been since 2004. Dylan, when you mentioned they went to the Western Conference Finals of the year, Kevin Garnett was named league MVP. From then until I believe yesterday, their winning percentage was 37%.
Pretty bad.
That's awful. I mean, we're not playing baseball here. You're not playing baseball here where those are Hall of Fame numbers right here. They
get the paper bags.
And with how many draft picks that they've missed over the years, and how many superstars that could have been on this team, it's something that this city needs, because Minneapolis, we're one of the 4 markets out there with the 4 major sports. And unfortunately, these last couple of years, we haven't had as much energy and drive for these pro teams. And the Wolves, they're doing it now because, they're young and they're a home built team, and people can get behind it because, like you said, Dylan, they're young and they're going to be around forever. Anthony Edwards was, first overall pick. That missed dunk he had last night going on the baseline. He would have went in. This place would have went berserk. And he kind of looks like young MJ out there with how much he can get up. Yeah. And then also, last year when they fired Saunders, everyone was saying, oh, it's, he's the fall guy. He's a fall guy. Well, I think Coach Finch, he clearly was the answer with that. And it's nice that, next year in this midseason, they signed Pat Bev to a contract extension. So he'll be at least with the Wolves through 2023. But since his past relationship with Coach Finch, I think he could be around for a while because this team needs him. They have that attitude that they didn't have in 2018 with Jimmy Butler. And, it's exciting. And, playing Memphis, that's the draw they wanted. Because if you had to go in Phoenix, talk about the Lions' den, and you don't want to play those boys. You want to play the Grizz. Jaws still injured a little bit. And, if we can get Pat Bev being that gnat, getting in his face, gosh, I like our chances.
I will say, I know Cat is the biggest name on the team. Like, he's obviously probably, to most people, the face of the franchise. But when you actually think about it, this is Anthony Edwards' team. Like, he makes them go. When he plays well, it's unbelievable. Like, Cat's had some obviously great games, great seasons here, but Edwards is really the thing that just propels him. Even the fourth quarter last night, his dunk, as soon as that lane opened, it was like, holy hell, he's going right at it. He's going to dunk on the whole city of Los Angeles, hit the step in 3 to go up, I think 5. He just makes plays. Like, he is, I'm not going to say a young MJ, but the dude can ball. And what is he, 20 years old? He can't even legally drink. Like, this kid he is really goddamn good.
Well, and let's not forget, draft night, Dwayne Wade said that Anthony Edwards could have a better pro career than him. And the one comparison they have is they're both coached by Tom Crean in college. And when a 3-time champion and a top 50 player of all time says, hey, this dude could be better than me, that's when you really got to sit back and say, oh, there's potential. But now we're not looking at potential anymore. We're looking at he's going out and he's grabbing the bull by the horns. He wants it. He's making plays.
And to kind of put this whole thing into perspective, I haven't been to a T-Wolves game in over a decade. I bought tickets today for a playoff game. I don't even know all the damn roster. That's just how Minneapolis is going right now. Once Minneapolis and these Minnesota sports get going, they get these fans, I don't think there's a better sports city in the country. When you get these teams really rolling, the fans come out real quick.
Oh,
And
for sure. And
and
to
no one-
put a little bit more perspective on what Ethan said is 3 years ago, when I was down in Arizona with my dad, we went to a Suns Wolves game, and the most action of that night was Devin Booker tried to fight tall guy. He played at Gorgie
Ju-
Dang. Tried to fight
Oh,
Gorgie Dang, and then he said, meet me in the hallway, and they sprinted back, and my dad fell asleep. I had a picture of it. I don't know where it went, but it's wild to think that the Wolves are in the playoffs and the Suns are favored to go backs. And we won't talk a whole lot, but I think staying in the NBA Grant, you had something to finish, so I didn't mean to interrupt you, but go ahead and then we'll talk a little bit NBA playoffs and what we think playoff wise happens.
how underrated Target Center is, and how
Yeah.
underrated the people of Minnesota and Minneapolis are for their pro sports, because they filled that place up to the brim last night, and they brought the energy, and you could tell the Wolves players fed off that. Even, we came out, we had a nice 7-2 lead. The Clippers then went on like a 24 to, I think 10 run. But
the lady glued her hand to the court.
The lady glued her hand to the court, which so Minneapolis, which pisses me off. But the fans, they never went away. And, these Minnesota fans were never going to die. They're always going to be in it. Like MJ, they're never going to lose a game. They're just going to run out of time to cheer.
And also because the Wolves are under new ownership too, and there was talks of them possibly leaving and going somewhere else. But A-Rod was there last night, and I think him sitting there, and he's a former athlete. He has to love that atmosphere. You can't say that I can't leave to take this team.
He bought a house on Lake Minnetonka. They ain't going nowhere.
Oh, perfect.
And
Even
he
better.
also owns a lot of apartment buildings in downtown Minneapolis.
Okay.
And with all the Fortune 500 companies that we have in this city, and it's truly a growing city with how many people need to rent, he ain't going anywhere. This team's staying.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah. So we'll stay in the NBA a little bit. We'll talk. I saw the Pelicans were just beat the Spurs 113-103. So they will be going to LA on Friday to play the Clippers. Hornets won earlier tonight. They'll be playing the Cavs.
The Hawks won.
Hawks won. So the Hornets will be going to.
They'll be going home.
What's that?
Hornets
They'll be going home because the Cavs Nets was 7-8 last night. So the Hawks are going to Cleveland in the game to see who gets to play the Miami Heat in the first round.
Yeah, that's
Miles
right.
Bridges might get a hefty fine too. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
So
he tried to.
I don't know if you saw that.
He tried to be a Will Smith and slap some fan.
Yeah, with a towel even.
Yeah.
Well, he threw a mouthpiece at a kid.
Oh, I didn't see that. I just saw him like
he
chirping, like, "Oh, you're out" and everything. I didn't see him throw that.
He pulled a Steph Curry in the 2016 finals when he got pissed and threw his mouthpiece at a fan.
What a souvenir, though.
Well, I think he was trying to one up Aaron Rodgers, who got intercepted in like a 7-on-7 game, and gave the kid the ball, and he assaulted him by throwing the ball back at him after he gave him.
Yeah, the kid knocked him off and just kind of went up and handed him the ball. Rodgers didn't like that. It was pretty.
These guys must have watched Peyton Manning's SNL skit.
That's literally what it was.
Before they went on the court tonight.
That's what it's been compared to. But trying to stay on track here. NBA Finals bracket is pretty much set. We'll see what happens in the playoff games tomorrow and Friday. Rest of the playoffs starts Saturday. For me, I think it's setting up to be a Suns Bucks rematch of the finals. The only team I think out east, I think that could possibly give Milwaukee a run would be the Nets, but they just don't. They don't have the time playing together. It's either Kyrie with his vaccination status and injuries. KD's been hurt. Ben Simmons is Grant's favorite player in the NBA. Ben Simmons it's a back injury, they say, but
Ben
and
Simmons can
he's
Ben
walking
Simmons can go to hell.
and he's
Sorry.
apparently it's funny because I was trying to figure out why he wasn't playing, and there's a report that said there's two different ones, and it was they're really challenging him, and then the next article over is they're frustrated with him not playing, and then they said he walks around like Michael Jordan, and I think they're referring to Michael B. Jordan, because if he was walking around like Michael Jordan, he would actually be playing.
Honestly, I don't think Ben Simmons knows why he's not playing.
Don't put Ben Simmons in the same category as Michael B. Jordan. That is just blasphemy and disrespect on Michael B. Jordan. So I do not appreciate that. But Ben Simmons, he doesn't care about basketball. He just wants to go get his money, chase Instagram models, and live his best life. He just doesn't care.
Yep. And the kicker for me is like, yeah, and Ben Simmons, he's going to be the X factor. They if he can give him 8 good minutes, it's like, why are we talking about a guy that's going to play 8 minutes a half?
He's going to give him 33% of a half, and he's going to change the landscape for a team who's going to have to play the Celtics in the first round with just a bunch of grinders and grimy guys who are going to get in your face. And they want to send Kyrie home. There's some serious bad blood between Kyrie and that Celtics organization and Celtics teammates. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that series. I'm probably going to try to watch every single game of that, whenever I can. But another team that I actually am kind of intrigued about is also in the East is, for being a 1 seed, nobody talks about him, is the Miami Heat. Because, Jimmy Butler's your star player, but then you got guys like Bam, Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, Udonis Haslem brings that culture that we talked about a lot last week. Eric Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in the league. I just want to see if this team can actually finally, get over a hump and win a playoff series outside of a bubble in Orlando.
Yeah. And the biggest reason why I'm picking Memphis is because I trust Chris Middleton as a number 2 than whoever Miami has as a number 2. And at the end of the day,
You mean Milwaukee?
Giannis is, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's what I meant. And yeah, I like Giannis more than I like Jimmy Butler, and I like Chris Middleton a little bit more than I like who Miami has to offer, whether it be Lowry or Bam
Hero.
or Hero. Yeah.
No, I'm going to go off a little bit here off the deep end. I'm going to go with Boston.
Ooh.
I think Jaylen Brown's starting to take that step. I want to say they've won 8 of their last 10. Their only losses to the Bucks by 6. They've beaten some pretty darn good NBA teams by a lot. They put up 144 last week. They're playing well. Like, they're doing really, really good. And I'm taking Boston. Why not? I mean, I don't think anyone knows what the hell the East is going to happen. I don't buy the Nets. I don't know. Kevin Durant's good. Kyrie's good. But that chemistry, I mean,
yeah,
there's nothing there. Enough. He's played, what, 7, 8 games? Like, get out of here. Like, I don't know. I don't buy him.
Well, and then, to kind of switch conferences, to Dylan's point, I think the West is they're just going to beat each other up, except for Phoenix, because Phoenix, they're the best. Yeah, they're the best team in basketball. They're gonna, let's be honest, probably sweep either the Pelicans or the Clippers. Without if Kawhi doesn't come back, I just
another guy I heard today saying that he might be able to give him 8 minutes a half.
Kawhi?
Yeah.
I didn't even know the guy was still on the team, to be honest. I kind of forgot.
Well, I mean, he has a partially torn ACL, and apparently he can't come back from that. He got injured last June. That's, besides the point there. But, the Wolves in Memphis, that's going to be a grinding physical series, which I expect to at least go. I think it's going to go at least 6 games. Both teams are going to
be the best series in the whole playoffs in terms of first round, at least.
First rounders, yeah. Those teams, they're going to get after each other, and they're going to wear each other down. And then, in the other one, Golden State, they should beat Denver, but then I want to say is it Utah and Dallas? That again is just, that's going to be a grimy series.
Luka's
So
not
Phoenix,
healthy either. He's kind of still recovering from a calf strain, which is a very tough
Nagging
injury to
injury.
come back. Yeah, it's a nagging injury. It's a tough
Mhm.
one to recover from. And yeah, and I think the Warriors, I think if they've kind of had that same problem that the Nets have, except they've got a way better culture. Steve Kerr's a much better coach than Steve Nash. And it's just Curry's been hurt. Clay's coming back from two torn ACLs. Draymond's been hurt on and off. But they have the experience. I think they're still about a year away. James Wiseman, Jordan Pools are turning into rising stars too. I think they're about a year away, but yeah, like I said, I until it's something unless something drastic happens, I expect the rematch of the finals from last year.
I'll take Phoenix against the field every time. I don't think it's even relatively close. That team is unbelievable.
And, what I like most about Phoenix guys is they didn't build this team the way NBA players want to build teams now. They built them, from the bottom up. If you look at guys like, DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, Cam Johnson, is not Bridges,
Bridges.
the player who's played.
DeAndre
He's played
Ayton.
Johnson?
Yeah,
Ayton.
no, not Ayton. He's played in 318 of 318 possible games.
No, Bridges.
Yeah, Bridges. Yeah, Bridges.
Villanova,
I'm drawing Bridges. Then you trade for a guy in Chris Paul. You sign Jay Crowder. They're good people. And how can you not like Monty Williams as a head coach?
Yep.
Yeah.
After
Can we go
everything
back a little bit to people that actually thought when we traded for D'Lo we were going to get Booker too? Like, can we just LOL at that for a second? Like, people actually thought that was realistic. He was going to leave Phoenix.
That's back saying what could have been. But God, Devin Booker become the second best player in this league.
He's
stud.
Behind Giannis. It's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good.
Well, and I think the Suns are what the Wolves want to be. Both kind of small market teams building through the draft, getting those pieces. And Chris Paul, you can't talk enough about what he's done for that Suns team. He's helped develop or grow, just mature Ayton, Booker, those guys who are young. I mean, they came in, they 1 year in college, and he does a good job of. I mean, he's a true leader. He's been in the league, he's been around, and when he gets on you, it's not because he doesn't like you or he's mad at you. It's because he knows what you're capable of, and he knows what you can contribute. And if you're not living up to that standard, he's gonna make sure and those guys respond, and they, it's tough love. It's one of those where they're arguing in practice, and then in the locker room they're joking around. That's the type of leader I think Chris Paul is, and I think it just proved how much he's brought them along.
Yeah.
Well, and look at everywhere he's gone, whether it's New Orleans, the Clippers, Houston, Oklahoma City for a year, and Phoenix. I want to say have won 10 plus games more than they did the year before. Every year these teams are making the playoffs. And if Chris can win this title, if he just gets the one title, he's probably going to become the third best point guard of all time.
Yeah.
With his Hall of Fame career, the All-Stars, and just what he's meant to organizations, he just gets this one title. He'll be behind Isaiah and Magic as the third greatest point guard of all time.
Yeah. Going back to Monty Williams, if his wife doesn't pass away in that car crash, there's a very realistic chance he's the Timberwolves coach over Saunders, honestly.
I remember hearing that.
He was the top candidate up here, and then that happened, and it obviously derailed everything, but he's fallen into a hell of a spot down there, and he's a hell of a coach.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And we'll keep moving. And some unfortunate news that happened over the weekend. Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins was passed away. He was hit by a dump truck on the Florida interstate. Obviously, incredibly sad. It's unfortunate to see. It sounds like, he had some struggles early on in the league, but it sounded like, and everybody who was a teammate of him loved the guy. He was a husband. I don't know if he had kids or if they had one on the way, but from all accounts, he was just a tremendous guy, tremendous person. Guys just love being around him. And then he's 24 years old. It's sad. It's not supposed to happen this way. And you send your thoughts and prayers, and all your well wishes to the Haskins family, and hope they can find a way to be with them in this tough time. It's sad, it's unfortunate, and uh, yeah, I'll let you guys talk.
I feel like it's one of those situations where it really puts life into perspective. Like you always think of these athletes as immortal, almost like making tons of money. They can get any woman they want. They just love their life. But then just tragedy hits, and it really puts everything all the way back into perspective. And it's awful. It's sad. It's not fair.
And I kind of want to take a different turn, but the most unfortunate part about Dwayne's death here, and I think how we're going in societies, is people always want to talk about, Dylan mentioned those previous struggles in Washington for those 2 years, how, he had a losing record. Ron, I think, skipped a meeting, and Ron Rivera had to yell at him. He was upset with that after the draft. When Washington had him, he said, "Oh, these teams are making a giant mistake. I'm going to prove that these people are wrong." People didn't like his body language. It's like that. That's not the time for that. The time for now is for grieving, and to let his family know that, hey, we're thinking about you. We're praying for you. And 24 years young. It's way too early. And the video of him when he's 10 and he's at the Ohio State facility, and he says, "Hey, I'll be the quarterback here someday." And he goes on to Ohio State. He does it. In 17, his first action, Dylan, you're not going to like this as we talk football.
Yeah.
He comes in after JT Barrett gets hurt, has Ohio State come back. They beat Michigan that year. And then the next season, for a football player, he throws 50 passes in a season, the best season a quarterback in the Big Ten has ever had. Goes off to win a Rose Bowl game. He was just a leader. And again, like Dylan, like you said, even though he was just in Pittsburgh for that one season, the lives that he touched, TJ Watt, Mason Rudolph, Cam Hayward, Mike Tomlin, and, Ron Rivera for that 1 year. It just, it devastates you. And, you're upset that he couldn't finish this journey he was going on as he was growing and become an adult and a true leader of men. And, it's just, like you said, it's just tragic, and you have no words, because he's younger than us. He's 24. Yep. He's 24 years old, and he's younger than us, and to get his life taken away like that, it's just not fair.
Yeah, and it's sad that it has to come to something like that, where people only, they don't know him, but the only thing people think of is with Dwayne Haskins is they think of all those negative things. They don't think about, this guy has a family, and it it's sad that it makes some people have to take a step back and realize he was a human. He had a life outside of football, and at the end of the day, your football life for these professionals is this much compared to the rest of your life, and how much more of an impact you can have, or how much more, rather than how you performed on a field. Even like a guy like Ron Rivera, he held them to a high standard, and it sounded, from what you read, it was even after they cut him, they were still really close. And these coaches, players, they become like family, and it's like losing a son, it's like losing a brother. It's just sad, and you send your thoughts and prayers, like you said, to the Haskins family, and hope they can find some peace in understanding the lives he was able to touch, and know that they raised a tremendous young man. So we'll keep moving. MLB season is off and running. The Twins been a little bit up and down. They've started out 0-2, 1-2 split against the Mariners. Early season, they lost their last two against the Dodgers, but they're a young team. They're still learning to play together, and it's a long season. I think I like the progress they've made. They seem tremendously ahead of what they were last year, and we'll start with our predictions. What are you guys' thoughts on the MLB season so far?
Well, I'm kind of hit and miss with the Twins. They've looked good, like you said. They've looked bad. First two games probably should have won. They left. The big concerning thing to me is they can't score runs without homers. Out of the 6 games, there's really been one game where they've actually been able to get guys on base and actually like not develop, but like just like get the runs not hitting over the damn fence. Like that was the third game versus the fourth game versus Seattle. I can't remember now which one was
The fourth
6
one.
homers. It was the fourth. It was
Where they
the
won
last game.
4-0, and that's the way I'd like to see this team win more of.
I don't
Because
want to see 6 homers.
when it comes to the playoffs, you can't rely on the home run
can't.
because you're facing the best pitching in baseball, and you're not going to be able to get. I mean, not those pitchers don't make mistakes. Most of those, those home runs, they're pitching against guys that are. I mean, they aren't all Cy Young Award winners. Most of them are going to be delivering tires in the offseason.
To me, bullpens make the difference because starters in the playoffs, they only go 4 or 5 innings. You have those half of the game is the bullpen. That's where the real money is made. But the biggest thing about me is the Twins, they can't have sustainable innings where they actually have these back-to-back hits, moving guys over. Like even today, there was 3 times they had a guy on second to start the inning. They can't even get a productive out. They went 3 straight times or grounded to the third. Like it's just those small things that aren't happening. And even then, you expect Gary Sanchez, you expect Miguel Sano to strike out a crap ton, but it's Buxton striking out. Correa swinging at stuff that, my God, it'd break his freaking foot if it hit him. It's just like these guys are just so out of whack right now. And Buxton, like, I guess through 2 of the 3 of his homers have come off breaking balls, but my God, he couldn't hit Kershaw with a freaking order today. Like PJ Fleck would be very disappointed in him.
Well, in his defense, nobody could hit Clayton Kershaw today.
He was good, but at the same time, those pitches actually aren't like we chased a lot of them, but still, like there was some right down the middle of Buxton. I mean, he was good 4 inches off the damn ball. It's just like, I don't know. Like they need to get it together. They need to start putting the bat on the ball and making contact because it's up and down through the lineup. It's not just the 2 guys you expect to strike out 400 combined times.
Correct. And also, I think, Ethan, to piggy off that, it goes off with some nerves because, baseball players, they're the most, anal and repetitive, creatures out there. They need habit. And since spring training was so condensed this year, they didn't get those full 6 weeks. I think that's having an effect on these players too because they're rushing into it. It kind of looks like a lot like early season football practice where the first 3 weeks, the defense is so far ahead of the offense because they just get to react, from the plays. They don't have to worry about, the timing and your hand-eye coordination and, trying to get those productive outs. I think these guys are they're trying to go out with such a big bang and get hot that they're forgetting the small steps that you need as a baseball team. And to your point, you got a runner on second. There's no problem with grounding out to second base to start the inning. Get them over to third. I think they just need to take a deep breath and realize, hey, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And, for a couple of those games in the Mariners series, to your point, Twins couldn't score a run. The pitching was not the problem. They held the Mariners to enough runs where they should have won those games. They just need to slow down, take a deep breath. And if they can do that, I think they'll be just fine.
And the thing that's it's kind of ironic that I was talking about how he couldn't hit the breaking ball versus Kershaw. Fast forward to the game where they hit 6 homers. 4 of those 6 balls were hit off speed. Only Buxton hit 1 and Polanco hit 1 off fastball. So it's like they can do it. It's just a matter of, it's just odd how one day they absolutely destroy these baseballs. And the next day, I mean, they couldn't hit water if they fell out of a freaking boat. It's amazing.
Yeah,
baseball's it's a lot like golf, boys. You're up and you're down, and it's all about how you're doing mentally. This game, it's such a, you have to have a different mindset to play this game because if you fail 7 out of 10 times, you're a Hall of Famer. You're the best to ever do it in this game. So you have to stay so focused, and it's such a grind that you can't get down on yourselves and you can't try to make plays that you normally wouldn't. Because to your point, Correa's swinging at stuff where it's like in Houston, he wouldn't even touch that. And he's got a 2-0 count and he's ready for a fastball coming. He's gonna wait.
Well, he had trash cans banging, so he knew what was coming. But
hey, these last couple of years, Houston was a damn good team after they got caught. Let's not forget about it.
No, I like to get I have a couple of buddies that are Astros fans.
Do we really care?
Not at all. Not at all.
No, not at all. We thank them for their duty.
And actually, since they beat the Dodgers, we love it too.
Yeah. But at the same time, though, the Twins, I mean, everyone thought the biggest thing was going to be their pitching this year. Today's start was the worst one they've had, and he gave up 3 runs in 4 innings. It's just like their pitching hasn't been the issue at all. Take out that chump that pitched the second half of the game today. They gave up 3 straight homers, but take him out of the equation and their crappy fielding in yesterday's game, they're fine. Like their pitching is actually pretty dang solid. Was that his son?
Yeah, that's what they said on the
way.
broadcast. Yeah, they
No
said it
kidding.
it was his debut, and he got the call last night at like 1:30 in the morning, and he didn't. And yeah, he was pitching.
Well, he should go to catcher or something because he ain't a pitcher. He's not very good.
It's his first time.
He's got to follow the family bloodlines and play catcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go back. Like, just it's done.
But we'll start. We'll get into our predictions. I've got we'll start in the AL East. I got 2 playoff teams out of the East. It's 6 teams this year. I like Toronto to win the East, and then I like Tampa to get the wild card. Yankees go 3rd, Boston 4th. I don't even know a player on the. Actually, I know. No, he's not even on there anymore.
Mancini, he's on the Orioles.
Okay, well, I was going to say Jay Flawed, Mandan native, but
I don't know him.
he got picked up by the Braves, and now I think he's just kind of a free agent and on waivers. But yeah, I like the Blue Jays and the Rays to come out of the East for the.
I got the same. Toronto winning it, Rays second. I didn't really do the rest, but I mean, honestly, it's Boston and New York, so it really doesn't matter. As long as they don't make the playoffs, I'm a happy guy.
So I agree with you guys on one team. I like Tampa Bay to win the AL East. You know, they've been in the playoffs the last 3 years, AL East champs the last 2 years, and Kevin Cash, I think, is the best manager in that division. But I like the Yankees as the other wild card team in the AL East. So Tampa winning it, and the Yankees the wild card team.
I don't trust the Yankees pitching. I mean, I don't really trust Toronto's either, but I think Toronto's offense is better than the Yankees offense.
That's fair.
Well, and the other part with the Yankees is like half their team isn't vaccinated. So when it comes down to the season, unless things change, half their team might not be able to play in Toronto when they have a big series.
That's a good point. Yeah, Canada's rules up there. Yeah, you're right.
I thought about that because, you know, they lifted New York.
Yep.
But, Canada, I forgot about that.
Boston, that's right. Boston made everyone get vaccinated just basically for that reason.
Yeah. Didn't they have it in their negotiations with what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank right now?
I know I'm doing the same thing. I can't remember his name, but yes, you're right.
Yeah. Hey,
the shortstop. Story.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, and
That
then we'll move on to the Twins division, the AL Central, and I have Twins are going through a little bit of a struggle right now, but I think after a year that went so pear-shaped as it could go, I like them winning the Central. I like the White Sox making it as a wild card, Detroit finishing 3rd, the Cleveland Guardians finishing 4th, and it was kind of a toss-up, but Detroit's in Michigan, Cleveland's in Ohio, and Michigan's better than Ohio, so that's why I picked them to take 3rd. And then the caboose for the AL Central is the Kansas City Royals.
I got the White Sox. I don't think it's as big a gap as a lot of these people are saying. I really don't. They're good. They're pitching solid, but it's a lot like the Twins. Like they have a lot of unknowns in their pitching staff. Like I mean, big names, but you don't know what the hell they're going to do. Twins, I just don't know if I trust them enough to pick them yet. But after that, I mean, I think Detroit could make a run. I honestly think the Cleveland gets last. I think Bobby Witt is going to have a monster year.
Mm-hmm.
He's a stud.
And yeah, I'm with Ethan. I like the White Sox to win the division. Their 2 best players. I think Abreu and Anderson, they're just different.
Not to mention their bullpen.
Yes. And then, Tony La Russa, I know he likes to drink and drive, but everywhere he goes, they win.
He is a pile of poop.
And I think he's just going to be the difference. But to your point, Ethan, I'm with you. This gap is not as big as everyone in the media likes to make it out to be. You listen to Frank Thomas, and he thinks by August 15th, the Sox are going to have the division wrapped up.
Frank Thomas belongs in like a nursing home. He's an idiot.
Homer alert there, but I'm still going to ride with the Twins as that second wild card team. Again, we talked about them, last week, Dylan and I, and just now. They have a good team. They got a great roster. Once they just kind of slow down, not a good roster, excuse me. They just kind of slow down, take a deep breath. I think they'll be fine. I got some confidence in there. But the White Sox winning the division again, and the Twins coming in second. Tigers, I think the Tigers will be third, and then the Royals and Tigers are the Guardians, excuse me, are just they're bad.
Let's call a spade a spade. They're the Indians.
They're both bad, but to your point, Bobby Witt's going to be a difference maker for the Royals, and when it comes to the cellar race in the AL Central.
Yeah, and then we'll go to the AL West, and I like the Astros coming out of that division again. They're I don't know how many consecutive time they've won that division, and Mariners finishing second. I think now that it's still being 6 teams in the playoffs this year, I like the Mariners to break through and get in for the first time since 2001, breaking the longest pro sports playoff drought. And then in third, the Angels. I just don't trust them. I don't trust their health enough to get them over the hump. They might have the 2 best players in baseball right now, and Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, but they just always seem to get hurt. And I'm not going to believe it until I see it. And then the Rangers, and then finishing 5th and probably the number 1 pick in the MLB draft in 2023, the Oakland A's.
Yeah, I'm going with Houston. I think they might have that division wrapped up by the first weekend in September. I mean, I don't know. The Mariners got better, but they're not that good. I don't know. But like you said, Angels, I don't even know a pitcher on their staff. I should tell you right there, I follow baseball religiously. I don't even know who the hell they have. Is Jared Weaver still pitching? I don't even know. But no, other than that, Rangers are going to be trash. Oakland might win 60 games. So.
Yeah, it's a clean sweep for the AL West guys. It's Houston's division to lose. I mean, they're miles ahead of these dudes. I mean, I think they've lapped them. It's over. They have the best core.
We're talking about how good they are, and yet they've lost Correa and Springer, and yet no team can touch them.
Which is just unbelievable. It shows how good this team was in terms of building a baseball team. Talk about the cheating scandal all you want. Banging on garbage cans and videos, but they developed players, and guess what? When they won that World Series, they won that game in Dodger Stadium. They went into the Lions Den and they won that. I'm not taking that away from them. And, to be in the World Series again, last year and then 2 years ago against the Nationals, and then Dusty Baker, he just wins everywhere he goes. He's a baseball guy through and through. He's a leader. So I like the Astros. And then really, I don't trust the rest of that division. It really kills me that it doesn't make any sense. The Angels have, like Dylan said, the 2 best players in baseball, and they can't put a team around them. And they're probably going to barely be above 500 this year. And an interesting stat I saw this year, which just shows how I think transformative Shohei is. He's the first team in Major League Baseball history to throw the team's first pitch and see the first pitch as a batter. That's unbelievable.
That's wild.
But yeah, they just had no pitching and no one else on that team besides that. And Oakland, just get rid of them, move them, just move them to Las Vegas. I'm ready to move them to Las Vegas already. I'm serious.
They've talked about a plan for a new stadium, so it's in the works. Whether it gets passed or not, Oakland's probably going to say, like, screw you, like they did to the Raiders. But
all I'm going to say is good luck getting a new stadium in that state. Unless you got $5 billion in the bank like Stan Kroenke, we're moving this ship to Las Vegas here in a couple of years.
They tried to move them to San Francisco, the Bay.
That's right.
The Bay said, screw you.
All right, I appreciate you guys talking because I had a thing pop up on my computer and I tried closing out and I couldn't find you again. nothing changed. You guys still have faces for radio, but we will move over to the National League. It's all
Cracking
sudden love,
jokes
Grant.
on a Wednesday.
It's all sudden love.
We'll transition over to the National League. In National League East, I like the defending champion Braves to repeat, defend the NL East, come out there, and then the Mets finishing in second, Phillies third, Marlins fourth, Nationals 5. I think it's a flip-flop either way between the Marlins and Nationals. The Phillies are an interesting team, but I can't trust them either. They spent way too much money on one guy, and they haven't made the playoffs since. I like the Mets a little bit more. I like their pitching, and they've got a few injuries to start, but I think they have enough offense that'll keep them in games, and pitching will be enough until they're able to get healthy. And that's what I like for the NL East. What do you guys think?
I got Philly. I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see because Castellanos signed with them, correct? I'm not crazy.
Correct.
And Schwarber.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what news breaks as next homer, just to kind of see what we get out of that. But I honestly know nothing about them other than they got Rice Hoskins, who's going to have a hell of a year. They have a couple prospects that are probably going to be making an appearance this year, but without Freddie Freeman, I just don't think Atlanta's going to be as good. I know it's only one player, but he was the heart and soul of that team last year in the playoffs, and I think that's a big loss. I do have the Braves in the playoffs as a wild card, but I like Philly above them, and I don't think I'm ever going to trust the Mets in my life. They always seem to screw up somehow, and yeah, I don't think the Marlins got. I mean, if Derek Jeter quits on you, just fold the program.
Yeah, when the captain, the guy with the nickname, the captain, I'm done with the organization. You might as well just close the book there. And really, the Marlins really they gave up all hope when they built that stadium in the old Orange Bowl spot, and it was a dirty deal. I think the college football gods and MLB gods are on the side of the rest of them. They shouldn't have done that.
Stadium's at least nice.
Stadium's nice, but the team is trash. So I'm not too upset with that. But I'm gonna go full Jerry Seinfeld Stan account here. I like the New York Mets.
Oh, go to hell.
Call me crazy, but pitching. Once DeGrom comes back in about 2 months, him and Scherzer are gonna shut that division down. Am I crazy? Am I gonna regret it when they mess something up, or when Scherzer his arm gets fatigued in August? Absolutely. But
they wanted Buxton for a trade for Syndergaard. That tells you right there how incompetent that front office is. I will never trust them.
So, like I said, we're just going full Jerry Seinfeld account, and we're rolling with the Mets. And I'm with Ethan. I like the Phillies as a wild card team in the National League. I do think,
even though their second baseman hates it there. Scott.
Yeah, he got a standing ovation after he said it.
Since they got Castellano and Schwarber, and they were a close team last year. I think they're going to finally take it over the edge. And I think Ethan's right. I think losing Freddie Freeman is the heart and soul of that Atlanta team. And they're just they're going to have a bit of a World Series hangover, but they're going to be set for the next 10 years. So I'm not too worried about Atlanta. But again, 2 teams out of the AL East, Mets winning it, and Phillies as a wild card team.
We just talked about the whole NL East and didn't even mention the last the reigning NL MVP, which is kind of odd. But I hate Bryce Harper.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep moving. We're not going to make this a anti-Bryce Harper podcast. We'll let him actually win a playoff series before we can start that.
Exactly.
We'll go to the NL Central.
Hot takes coming here.
Yeah, I like the Brewers to win it. They're kind of I think Yelich had a rough year last year. I just a hunch. I think they're gonna find a way to win it. Cardinals in second. I like them as a wild card, and then third Cubs, Reds, and then the Pirates in the back.
I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. I'm the biggest from living in Iowa City, 3 hours away from Chicago. I am the biggest bandwagon Cardinals fan ever.
Let's roll.
But yeah, Cardinals are gonna roll through the division. Brewers are gonna get the wild card spot out of there, and the Cubs are gonna finish dead last behind the payroll of like 12 million of the Pirates, and that's really saying something because. You go give your probably your bust of free agent signing Suzuki. He's not even as good as Kurt Suzuki, the catcher. Let's be real.
Now, Ethan, is this your anti-Cub bias? That might not be in any part from your time down in Cub country, Iowa City. Does that have anything to do with it, or is it just a coincidence?
We're going full 100. I despise the Cubs. I think they are honestly on par with the Yankees, which is really saying something.
Hey, and guys, what's the best part about the Cubs and their just how much of a putrid organization they are?
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. They still have 100 years before their next World Series title.
And they don't even know it. They act like they're gonna go win the freaking thing again. It ain't gonna happen. You're gonna be dead.
Oh no, they're dead. David Ross is gonna get fired after this year. It's gonna be great.
That is the worst night of my life.
It's going to be when the Cubs, remember this, boys, when the Cubs lose, America wins.
Every time.
But so the real winners of this division, I'm with Ethan. It's the St. Louis Cardinals. And I think by September 1st, the NL Central might be over. Just because they might be a defensive team in baseball. I was looking at some stats earlier today. They're the only team in Major League Baseball history to have 5 guys on their team last year win a Gold Glove.
That's insane.
It's incredible.
That's crazy.
Goldschmidt got last year.
No one talks about Paul. Nobody.
Yeah. Arenado won his 9th. Molina, maybe the best defensive catcher we've ever seen with his 9th. And then Tommy Edman at second base with his 1st. And then Harrison Baden in center field with his 1st. And then also, no one's talking about this, but the return of Pujols, I think for one more year is going to bring some energy to that team. And they're going to want to go out with one more NL division title with Albert in St. Louis. So the gateway to the West in this city is the gateway to the NL Central Division title in 2022.
Okay, good. Some good geography play there. I like it. And then we'll go down to the NL West, and Dodgers. I like them to win their division. Padres in second. I like them as a wild card, and then the Giants in third. I think last year it was a season where they had everything go right for them, and it's already starting off a little bit pear-shaped. Longoria hurt, Posey retiring. I just don't think they have the horses like they had last year. Diamondbacks in fourth, and then the Rockies in fifth. You could probably flip-flop both of them, but I like the Dodgers to take the West and regain the crown there. What say you guys?
I got Dodgers. I mean, they're best, honestly, might be the best roster we've ever seen on a team, to be honest with you. It's stupid. Then I got the Padres after them. I'll take Rockies third. They've been off to a good start. I still think they are absolutely idiotic to pay Chris Bryant and not Nolan Arenado, but hey, it's not my money I'm spending, so you can do what you want. I think it's stupid as hell. I mean, the dude can't even catch a fly ball. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he dropped the fly ball at the bases loaded and it scored all the runs. Literally emptied the bases was that Sunday? Brutal. But Diamondbacks are going to be terrible. Giants are probably going to be pretty awful too.
Again, another clean sweep. It's the Dodgers division to lose. This one will be wrapped up by August 1st.
August. Jesus.
August. I'm calling it. In
You
August,
have no faith in the Padres. Fernando Tatis and his motorcycle is very upset with you right now.
Hey, I love Tatis. I think baseball needs him. They need to promote him more because of the flair he brings. But this is the best. This is the best team in baseball. I mean, Kershaw, what he did today, 7 innings, 80 pitches. That's stupid. And when your infield,
and he's their 6th starter.
He's their 6th starter. When your infield consists of Freddie Freeman, Justin Turner, and Trey Turner, that's stupid.
I haven't looked at the
and Max
All-Stars
Muncy
between their lineup, but I bet you it's over 70.
And then you got Mookie Betts, and then Bellinger in the outfield covering up 2/3 of that. It's just
traded AJ Pollock last week.
Yeah. it
And Chris
Rick-
Taylor in left field, who's probably playing. He's been better than Bellinger has these last few years. Bellinger got a home run today, but he's really struggling.
Bellinger got his first 2 hits today.
Yeah, and if he
He
finds
was
a way to
0
come
for
around,
15.
there's nobody. Yeah, and if he reverts back to his MVP seasons, there's nobody touching that team out west.
No,
No,
hell, not even in the. There's nobody in the East. I mean, ain't
No.
nobody touching
No.
them.
it might be one of those where really nobody should really touch them in the NL.
If
No.
there's a downfall in the Dodgers, it's their bullpen.
Yep,
100%.
yep, and
And which is always delicious to see. That'll bite him in the ass in October.
It always does.
it did last
It
year.
always
And so we'll fast forward to our
And sorry, excuse me. Padres as the second wild card team in the National League for myself.
okay.
Okay.
So we'll just go with our World Series picks. In my World Series, I like the Blue Jays, Dodgers, and I like the Dodgers winning in 6 games. I think they repeat or win their second in 3 years. I think all the things that we said previously is the main reason. Still don't know what's going to happen with Trevor Bauer. His leave got pushed back another couple weeks, so see what happens there. If he
He ain't
comes back,
gonna
that's
pitch.
just another horse in their rotation. Maybe move him to the bullpen. I mean, they another person too that nobody talks about is David Price is still pitches and basically is like their 6th
I saw that yesterday. I didn't
as
know
a
he still was
bullpen
in the
guy.
league.
Yeah,
I couldn't
He's
believe that.
he's like their stretch reliever essentially.
but I like Dodgers to beat the Blue Jays in 6 games.
I will take Houston over Philadelphia in 5.
Ooh,
Who's gonna beat them in the AL? Like, no
No.
one's gonna beat Houston.
well, so I kind of did my own bracket, but I have the Twins beating the Astros in the divisional round. I think the Twins get
Dude,
past it and they win their first. Yep,
don't.
You know what-
you heard
I
it
know
here
what-
first.
I know what you're doing here. It worked 2
I'm gonna
weeks ago in
die.
the tournament. I'm not saying anything else. That's it. We're moving on. But it's for the record, he said it out there. I here guys like the rematch of the 2020 World Series, but I like the losing team then to win this year. I think Tampa Bay finally gets that monkey off their back.
Is that just because
I
you don't
hate
like the
that.
Dodgers?
That is correct.
Okay.
100%. I hate the Dodgers, and I can't stand anything to do with the state of California. So go Rays, and let's just hope the Dodgers lose again. That is
Wouldn't a
100%.
Philly LA NLCS be freaking awesome though?
That
Oh,
would
yeah.
be great.
Those are 2
that
serious
happened.
fan bases.
When did that happen? That happened when the Phillies won the World Series back in would have been
Scott Rowland
09,
type
08.
area.
Yeah, back when Manny Ramirez was a Dodger.
Yep.
I think Joe
Oh.
Torre was the manager for the Dodgers.
Probably.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah,
say it was they
yeah.
met in the play. I can't remember if it was the LCS or the Division Series, but I know they met. And
Was Roy Halladay on the Phillies that year?
Yep.
Yeah.
Him
Yeah.
and Cliff Lee.
Yeah, Cliff Lee, the lefty. Yeah, they traded for him at the deadline from the Indians. Damn, that was a good team.
Yes, so that's baseball talk for the week. And Ethan, we'll swing it over to Ethan, who is the host of Curveball of the Week. So Ethan, what do you got for us?
We got a couple.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, a little spicy. So as we all know, I am big on the dating apps, right? Good times, roller coaster ride. But they always have these prompts. And the one prompt I've been noticing a lot lately is you have your fitted sheet, but do you use a top sheet? The sheet between the fitted sheet and the comforter. And that's been a hot time. I've probably seen that in the last 3 weeks, 4 or 5 times by different girls, and they bring it up every time. It's always a very key conversation when you start these combos. So I did a little recon. I did 3 nights with a top sheet, 3 nights without a top sheet, just to kind of see how I'd sleep with it and without it. On average, most nights, I slept an hour and a half better without the top sheet.
So like
Just
top
saying.
sheet, you're saying, so like you have your comforter, and then there's
Yep.
you have a sheet in between.
Underneath the comforter on top of the fitted sheet. Correct.
Yeah, because Dylan, like when you're making your bed, you got the fitted sheet that you can't fold.
Yep.
So that goes on first, and then your top sheet would be the one that you put over that. That's just paper thin,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
your comforter over
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, like that one.
I have that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you thought? What would you think about if you didn't? How would you react to that situation?
I don't know. I'd be whatever. I
That-
don't.
It's a real thing, man. It's a serious thing that I've
Apparently-
learned over the last month.
Apparently, it's more than I knew. I guess. Yeah. I mean, I have nights. I've had it my entire life, so I guess I don't. Even if I don't, I guess I don't notice it. Maybe I.
The thing that I
think,
really
I
Grant, go ahead. I talked enough.
think those social norms where we've grown up with it, that we almost just kind of think of it as second nature. Like, hey, we need the top sheet. On top of that, it's kind of new and groundbreaking.
I've never heard the term.
Times we don't think much of. So like I said, it's kind of one of those social norms where like Dylan, fuck, I just think about it. I have my top sheet. And it's catching a lot of people off guard. And what were you going to say, Ethan?
Well, to kind of go off what you said, like, whenever you have your top sheet or your regular sheet, I should just call it, but if it comes out from the bottom of the bed and your feet go under it, absolutely awful, right?
It is terrible. It's
terrible. You don't know what's going to get your feet at that point. Like, it's kind of scary to think about. You don't know what's under the bed.
Boogeyman is one.
He is just under your bed waiting for them toes to go over the edge of that bed. Without the top sheet, you don't have to worry about that.
It's a fair point.
And I would also like to add, last Friday met up with one of his old coworkers, and we watched the Twins game, had a little happy hour, and we did discuss this ahead of time.
Okay.
And
Yeah, sorry, Dylan, you weren't invited.
since then,
It's all right. You can FaceTime me. We have smartphones.
two nights, Ethan, 2 nights with the top sheet, and was kind of tossing and turning, and didn't feel good with that, and then have ditched it ever since then, and I have been sleeping better without the top sheet.
Two for two.
We're starting a new trend here, and we're ditching that top sheet right to the comforter.
Oh, let's go. Come on.
All right. Well, you guys are weird. I'll stick with what I got.
Come
Stick
on,
with
give it a
what makes
try.
me comfortable. I'll sleep good. I'll sleep good with it. I'll sleep good without it. At some point, I'm
Go
snowed
jump
in.
the
It's not like I
snowball
have.
with your negativity.
I'm not negative. I'm snowed in. I can sleep as much as I want the next few days, so it's not gonna make too much of a difference. So I ain't going nowhere.
All right. Well, on that point, on to number 2. So we are going to do a marry, fuck, and kill regarding wine, tequila, and vodka.
Oh,
I'm done with you. I'm so done with you right now, you asshole. This just taps me so much right now.
Look at the legs on this thing, Grant. Look at them.
whoa.
This glass of wine.
This upsets me. I wish I could go out to a forest right now and cut a tree down, because this conversation has just emasculated me in the last 30 seconds.
Fuzzy face.
Ethan, what are you going to do now? Pull out some fancy cheese and dry ass bread from California or some bullshit like
I just might. I have some nice margarita salami from Cub Foods in the fridge right now if you really want me to.
He's got a
some
charcuterie board on command.
All right, I'll go first. I'm marrying wine. I think we all know this. I am fucking tequila because, God, that stuff's not great, but it ain't terrible. And
fucking you.
Vodka's gone. Like it's dead. It's always been dead to me. It'll never come back.
Okay. All right, Grant. Yeah, I'll let you go.
This is upsetting. I'm not gonna lie. This hurts because if I can be honest, guys, as you would know, I'm not the biggest, drinker of us three. Really the only time I do drink is, whenever Dylan comes into town for a visit and we're drinking a bunch on the golf course or at Cowboy Jack's downtown, or, you made up with Ethan and you do, a little
Willie
happy,
McCoy's.
Willie McCoy's 2-for-1s all day. That may have changed my life. So I'm not gonna lie, this answer, this one hurts because, as I would tell Ethan all the time, I think wine is absolute trash. If I wanted that, I would just open up my fridge and eat a grape. I mean, someone putting their nasty ass feet on this thing and I'm drinking this. That's just disgusting. But so I'm gonna start with the marriage one. I guess I'm gonna marry vodka. I mean, again, I don't like I don't
My
it,
God.
but if I have to wake up on a Saturday and have a nice little brunch, I can throw some orange juice in there and have a little screwdriver. But you will never catch me drinking cranberry juice and vodka because I do not pee sitting down. Where this one really hurts is I think I'm gonna have to sleep with wine.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Dirty ball.
It's crazy, guys, but
Hey,
You know-
wait, hey, Grant Grant just outed himself as a wine guy. Let's give it up for him.
Yes.
Grant.
I
Big
think-
wine guy.
I had to sleep with the wine because the last time I took a shot of tequila, I ended up on the floor at Cowboy Slim's, thrown up on a table, and it has just ruined me. And I really don't want to take 2 or 3 shots of tequila and then somehow end up where my pants went and feel like I'm 110 degrees on the inside. So
Well, you never
tequila is
experienced Mondo's in Iowa City then.
no. But anytime if it's not in a margarita form, I get a bad taste in my mouth and I feel ill, like just physically sick. So we're
Some
gonna
good
we're gonna kill tequila. But that it hurts me to answer.
Okay.
I respect the answer, but if it's not wine, tequila's God's nectar.
I'm done with
Well,
you.
so I will say tequila, when I was down in Mexico, went to a tequila farm, got to taste some like aged 7 and 12-year tequila. Phenomenal.
Oh, jealous.
It was good, but
You don't even need a lime for that.
no, you sip it like nice whiskey. You got
Yeah.
your pinky out, and
Good stuff.
and I'm not a big liquor guy. I'm mostly a Busch Light, Michelob Ultra guy. As you can see, I have
Some milk waters.
Busch Light and a pickle, yeah. And so yeah. And my rule with tequila is unless it's aged 7 or 12 years, I'm not drinking it. So I guess I'm killing tequila. I mess with the wine. I like it at family dinner, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, those types of events with family. You just have a nice glass with dinner. That's all right. Yeah. I can't cheers because I don't believe in cheersing with an empty glass. So
You got a pickle.
I do have a pickle. That's going to be a nice, nice little bedtime snack.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
And
I'm gonna refrain.
I guess like you, Grant, I'm marrying vodka. I like an occasional screwdriver. I like the Bloody Mary Caesars. In the summer, a nice vodka lemonade, cool you off on a hot summer day. I have a house now, doing yard work. Might have to get some something like that. And that's so I guess I'm marrying vodka, messing with tequila, or messing with I'm messing with the wine, and then I'm killing tequila because it's it's just not good. Does not do me good. I like
It basically the good thing about tequila is if you have enough of it, which is usually one shot for most people, you don't remember it anyway. So what does it really matter at that point?
when you wake up and there's puke all over your room. That's why you remember it.
how did I wake up in Tijuana? I don't know.
That's a story for that's a story for a different podcast, Grant.
But you know
What
what?
about yours at whatever bar in Iowa City at like freaking bar close? You ordered 12 Yeg bombs or something.
Yeah.
Oh
and-
yeah, I did do that. Yep, that happened.
but hey, me and Dylan finished them. I think Dylan had about 8 of them, but we finished them.
I don't
That's
remember
all that
that.
matters.
Well, yeah, but you woke up the next day and you said, "Did you spend blah 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 at the Garden of Eden?" And you're like,
You
"Yep."
spent like $200.
It was yeah.
But
It's not even a bar; it's a club.
the best way to drink a tequila shot,
And
guys,
we
is-
almost got ran over walking
don't-
into that. I remember walking in and getting run over by that big dude bouncer
yeah, the
calling
bouncer.
somebody out. Yeah.
I literally thought you meant a car.
No. Well, I mean, that dude might have been bigger than a car, that bouncer.
Oh,
He was a big dude.
but no, seriously, guys, the best way to take a tequila shot is you don't take a tequila shot.
Exactly.
No, you lick your hand, you put the salt on it.
That's
you take
why
the
Grant
shot,
is
you
the
lick
dad of this
salt, and then you
podcast.
suck on
Damn
the rind. That's how you do it.
All right, we'll wrap this up. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you tune in next week, and we will talk to you next week.
Make her drink some wine.